whenever, but I'll just listen to y'all. Introduce yourselves if you have any questions with each other. Please go ahead.
Okay, maybe I'll introduce myself first. Um, they were the ones who John reached out to me also to do the animation. Suffice to say that it didn't go as planned, but my background is also in animation, in gaming. I started modeling and then mostly working on animation. And as of now, I am currently also employed to another company as an animator, 3D animator. How many years have I done this? Let's just say more than 10 years. So um, I've had experience also with not just gaming. I also did some for marketing. I also did something for a museum, and that's for VR. And then I recently did something for AR here locally in the Philippines. And then another AR from another client that we worked on in my current job, but it's in Germany in Munich. So um, most of the models that I've shown them when we were in the interview with David, um, they were made by another 3D modeler, 3D artist. Some of it were made by me, but most of it were hers because she's much more proficient in modeling and texturing than I am. And then most of the animations that I did show in my portfolio are mine. And then there's one trailer that we really talked about because it's a game trailer, cinematic trailer. And I made that with another coworker of mine. We both animated it, and then all the models are already there. But the characters were rigged by me, and then animated by us, rendered by the both of us using Blender. So I just transitioned to Blender. Maybe it's been 2 years now, but originally I've done 3D Max. I've been using 3D Max as my main 3D software, but I like Blender now, so all good. Um, there. Maybe you could also introduce yourself, and then um, maybe we'll start with what my comments are on the animation that John showed me that you've done, and then maybe you could share with me your how you rigged it, your problems with it, any issues with it, and then we'll go from there because I also have some notes, but yeah, maybe we'll go from there.
Okay. Please bear with me. I understand what you said. The last part. It's just that I can hear well what Jen is saying, but it's your end is quite a bit uh, not clear. But I understand the last, and I'm
So
glad.
my audio is not clear.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
glad
so my
that
audio and
we.
okay.
It's a little quiet. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
is
glad.
it clear now?
Uh, Excuse me.
You got to
Is
turn
it
your
clear now? Can you hear me?
Can you turn your volume up, Henry? Yeah, is that possible?
Turn my
Volume up. It's just
volume up.
yeah. That's just a suggestion. It's just
Yes,
quiet, Donna.
it's
It's all
already full in full volume. But I can hear John well. So, it's just that is Donna's not quite
John, is
clear.
my audio well?
it's low. Yeah, I mean
Oh, it's
it just
low.
sounds like you're far away or something.
Oh, okay. Let me. disconnect first. I'll change my headset and then I'll go back to the call.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Wait. One thing I was going to say was, how long have you had that computer, your laptop?
Excuse me, how? I don't know what?
Yeah. How long have you had your laptop?
This is brand new, just about last year.
And it's like overheating.
Excuse me.
You got it last year, and it's overheating.
It's not really overheating. It's just that I'm very very protective about it because I would like to make it it's long, make it the lifespan long, and the technicians recommend that avoid using it in hot places.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Thank you. Can you talk on it?
Is my audio clearer now?
Yes, much better, much better. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So I guess yeah. Introduce yourself, Henry, and I guess what was the last thing you said, Donna? To
I did say that what do you call this? I'll tell you my comments on the animation that you did, the video that John sent me, and then afterwards we're not gonna discuss it yet, but let me know your process on animating those, the coconut character, and also any issues you had with rigging. I might be able to answer it or not. Let's see. And then after that, I'll give you some tips on how I did my edit on it, and maybe a guide so that it could help you with your animation. That's why John called me.
Yes. Issues about rigging. Nothing much problem about rigging. It's just that when I started rigging the character, I have a zero background in the Blender rigging tools. So as I do it, I'm also studying. So it take longer to finish it. But the only issue is that yeah, I created the rigging from I made it what you call it, customized without the, you see that a character is a special character with only head and with arms and legs with it, and it has no spine, so it's kind of really complicated to rig because it's in Blender there's a ready-made rigging classes like humanoids and animals, birds, and like that, and we don't see these structures that are similar to our characters. So I have to find a way to modify the human bones to fit our character. So I have to remove the spine. So the process is not really the process is not that easy. It took me a while to figure out and to make it work, that to generate the what you call it, the controllers in Rigify. But finally I found it. Then after I have made the rigging, I was happy. Yeah, wow! I made it with complete rigging, with face of rigging. I have no problem with rigging now. I feel I can whatever character is given to me, dogs, snake, whatever is this, because I have already rigged a very difficult character. It's not human character. I made it work. I felt kind of, the feeling. very triumphant. I feel triumphant. Uh, I can do different facial expression. Then comes this problem when exporting it to the GLB format. GLB format, I think same problem will also arise when it is exported in the FBX format. But right now we are exporting it in the GLB format. Then I figure out that when the rigging is exported to the GLB format, it doesn't work. The eyes when it blinks, the message and the vertices all fly around, and the mouth also fly around. So I have to find a way to make it work. So I improvised. I made my own facial rigging to what you call it, to override the Blender face rig. So it took me a while to first I only thought that the problem was in the eyes, so I fixed the eyes. Yeah, wow, I fixed the eyes. I found a way to override the default Blender facial rig with only the eyelids. Then after that, after animating, then I figure out that it's also the mouth. It's got the problem. So I did the same solution to the problem. Create my own rigs to override this time the mouth default Blender controller to make my own controller. Make then what you call it? Fortunately, I was successful again. Yes. So I made the animation and successfully exported all my animation to the GLB format. So the rigging problem is the problem is not really in the rigging. It's just that it's more on the animation technique. The study, the process of me studying the rigging is kind of a great journey for me. It's a great experience. It's just that when animating, it took me quite long, but in my opinion, it's not that long because I have a lot of colleagues, animator, took same time. So I don't think it's that quite long. I'm just looking for perhaps a better technique that can make the process of animation quicker. Like you told me, you were a Max user before. Yes, I'm also a 3ds Max user before. I work on for the gaming industry, and some of them are big, the major players in the industry like the Anino Games and Game of Philippines, and forgot the name of the one, Aussie Animation. Yeah, Aussie Animation. Back then I was using 3ds Max. Because at that time 3ds Max, the gaming industry was dominated by 3ds Max. But until lately, the 3ds Max software was slowly replaced by Maya software. So I was kind of disappointed with that because I've been using Max for years. Then it's the territory of 3ds Max. Then Maya replaced it. So I find a way to look for another software that can because Maya, you see, 3ds Max is not free. Maya is not free. They're both expensive software. So it's kind of a dilemma for me. So that made me find a software that to replace it without the problem of the licensing issue. So I shifted to Blender. I've been using Blender for about a year now, and last time I learned new about Blender. That's the rigging task. That's my issue. That's just my issue. The animation technique. So yeah. Perhaps
okay.
you can share. Maybe there's something you 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 have about the tools like the 3ds Max tools. Yeah, when we do the walk cycle, there's a tool in 3ds Max called the what you call it, the footstep animation. I've been searching for similar tools like that, but I can't
Oh, the
seem to find
automatic
something.
walking one.
Excuse me.
You mean in 3D Max the automatic walking like steps?
Yeah,
What's that
footstep.
called? Steps.
Like when
Yeah.
you create what you call it, the walk cycle, the animation for games, the walk in
Yeah.
place animation. Yeah, the tools to replace the walk cycle animation to make it a walking animation, and place the footstep animation to determine the direction of the of the uh, of the walking by the footstep by place the footstep on the ground. Yeah, perhaps there are
Okay.
similar tools like that.
I think there's no add-on for that. And also for info, I didn't even use that when I was using Max. I was really a manual animation. So maybe
Yes.
that's a practice that I learned, and I never really did use the steps one in Max. I only did use biped, and then that's it. Everything was manual. You have to animate it by yourself using references. Um,
Yes. Yeah. That's we got that's the same for me. I prefer manual because with manual animation rarely no issue. There is rarely an issue with it because um, in contrast with the suggestions of a lot of my clients suggest that you use this software, the mockup software like that. It's kind of it's limited. Like for instance, the Mixamo, it only do the rigging for the body, but for how about the facial rigging, and aside
oh
from that,
yeah.
when you rig the character with Mixamo, you cannot rig face anymore because there's the initial pose is not there anymore. The head is not already riggable anymore. So that's my issue with
Yeah, there is some limitation with using mocap, but if you have a humanoid character, it's very helpful to have Mixamo and the other mocap things because I've also used them before and then edited them. Anyway, for this character, you did mention that I did see the rig. If I could, I will share my screen and then open your the walk blend file that I got from John. Let me see. Share. Share. Start sharing. Okay. Is it viewable? Is it? Can you see my screen?
yeah. Yes. Clear.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't?
Not me. Can you see it, Henry? Her screen, Henry?
Yes, yeah, I can see. I can see.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay,
let's
let
see.
me stop it and then do it again. Maybe that would solve it. Okay, I stopped sharing and then I'll share it again.
no, it's okay. I guess.
Okay,
if Henry
here,
can
this
see it-
one.
No.
I can see it.
Oh, maybe you could use
It's clear.
in the view and then maybe speaker view, I think. I'm not sure.
Well,
showing.
if Henry can see it, then that's all that matters. So
Okay.
I'll keep.
So Henry, can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's clear. It's clear.
Okay. All right. For your questions in Rigify, I had also some issues with it before, but if you could look out for, there's a tutorial series for Rigify in YouTube by CG Dive. That's really helpful. It even made me, where's the chat option here so that I can write this one. CG Dive. He has a tutorial series for Rigify, and then you can even customize it. So anyway, so that's that. For this one, I do commend you on doing your own facial like rig. I didn't understand it at first why it was there because there's already a face rig. But it's all good. You do you, and it's all working anyway, so that's okay. Now,
I did that for as I mentioned before. It's what do you call it? It I have to do it because it's
because
necessary.
of export,
Export
export issue.
for
But I
GL.
don't understand that because before I did the AR thing and I use Rigify also for the facial expressions and everything was fine when I exported it. So I don't want to dive down deeper into it for now, but let's just say this works. It's all good. We're done there. But I'm pretty sure you could use the facial rig of Rigify and then export it to GLB, and it should be it should work. Because let me see. The sample for that, I do have a video of that. Let me get it. Render. Okay, this one. You could see my Santa has facial expressions and I used Rigify for everything.
Can I ask what version did you use there?
I'm using 3.2.1 of Blender.
Yeah, my version is earlier, so
So maybe that.
I think this
Yeah.
is the version.
What version did you use?
I think it's 3.1.
3.1. Did you also when you did the meta rig? Wait, maybe I could check that. When you did the meta rig, did you update the face rig? It's not seen here. Because there's a new there's an update for the face rig that there's a button here to update the face rig first before you generate a rig. But I'm not sure if that's already in 3.1 or it started in 3.2. So I'm not sure. So yeah, but as long as it worked, that's fine. That's good. You did solve the problem, and I commend you for that. Now for the animation, that was my only comment. My comment was overall anim was stiff. Let me play the whole video that John sent me. Let me see. Where is it? this one. Open with QuickTime. Okay. Oops, I can hear the sound on my end. No, okay, there.
We cannot hear
For
you.
this one, yeah. My comment to John was, yeah, this one is taking too long on an A pose. Maybe after one rotation, he poses to another pose, and then another rotation, he poses to another pose while doing the round table animation. Anyway, for the walk, there, it's the stiffness on the, it's like it's jumping, but not fluidly. It's like bouncing in a natural way. It's like static. Yeah, for that. And then for the run, it's just like it's too tak, 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 tak. But it's supposed to be a bit more flowy if you want to make it a bit more realistic. And yes, it's a coconut. It's a very stiff body, but it's not necessarily gonna be steady. So you could actually move the body around. I'll comment on that later. I'll follow through on my comment on that later. And then yeah, this one a bit stiff because the stiffness is showing because of the body. It's so static. It's just not moving. And then for the other animation there, my comment for this one is it's like he's too much floating. There's no anticipation of his jump. It's like he's been pulled by a rope, but he's not jumping by himself. So he should be like bending first before jumping, because when you jump in real life, you bend your knees first and then go up. And then when you land, you still bend your knees because you have to support yourself and then stand up straight. So my recommendation for that is, if it's a basic body movement, do it yourself. Stand up, leave the computer first, do the action, because that's what I do. If I'm walking, I feel my hips, which one is going side to side, up and down, or anything. Or you look at yourself in the mirror to see if you can't find any references. If it's a complicated action, then go find references because it's complicated. You have to look for it. But yeah, just observe some the body parts, everything. And then yeah, that's my comment only here. There's no anticipation, there's no follow through of whether you're gonna jump. It's just like he's being pulled by a string and then landed perfectly without bending his knees. And then what was the next action? The same thing for this one. And then it's also a bit still stiff, especially for the arms. Well, especially the body, and then secondary the arms, because for this one, maybe from here and then going down, it would be much more straighter. Like the arms would be from here and then going down. So I'm not sure if there's an option that I could draw on the screen while I'm sharing screen. Let me see. Is there an option here on Skype? Nothing. Draw. Is there a draw? No, there's nothing. Okay, so maybe just follow my mouse, my cursor then. And then after this animation, yeah, it's the same. No comment here. It's all good. So now, this one is the one I made. Let me do a repeating. So my number one tips for animation in general is references. Please look for references first. So I did follow this one. Oh no, I followed this one for the key poses because I'm sure you do pose to pose first before anything else. And then because he's only a head, I think you could just follow like this one, this part, his hips would be the head. So the head is not moving. Because here in your rig, wait. Here in your rig, let me, there. So you could see the deformation there. I was when I got this rig, I was assuming because I only saw one bone. So for the spine, just one bone. That's good.
It's there's no spine really there. It's only the head and the neck, because if I include the spine, there's no way we can add the facial rig.
Oh, actually you can. Actually you can. What do you call it? Wait. What do you call that? X. Dissolve. If you dissolve one of the spine bones, it's gonna be just one, and then the neck. And because the Rigify for head includes the neck and the head. If you dissolve one neck, it would be just one, because there's default two bones on the neck, and then you put this way in front. Yeah, there's two bones on the neck and then the head. So I think this one is the head. Yeah, that one is the head. And then this one is the neck. And then for the pelvis, I think, oh, so you only use the neck. Oh, that's okay too. It's just
There
the
is
neck.
an issue. There is an issue when you the facial rig, you cannot you cannot transfer it to the hips. It should always be on the head, or else the
Yeah, you
Rigify
could,
doesn't-
it
doesn't,
should be, yeah, it should be on the head. What I meant was, you could just do the hips, like for the body, like this one, and then neck. Because, yes, this is the head of the coconut. But rigging-wise, they're not gonna, bone-wise, they're not gonna see anyway. They're not gonna say, why is the body the head? But for the head, you could just attach it here, and then the face, you could just move it here, move it down, because the face, the facial rig has its own what do you call this, group? Where are those? Not this one. If no, single bone. I'm in keyframe mode. If this is there, bone group, advanced, no. Oh, edit mode, okay, there. Samples. Because in samples, the basic face rig is, yeah, the one that I told you about to search in YouTube, CG Dive, he would explain all this and make you understand what I'm saying more. Because these are the parts of the Rigify rig. So you could actually customize it so that the only ones that you need would be there and not the humanoid rig there, the face.
Yeah, that's why I needed to get rid of the spine, because the head is way up there and the mouth is way down there. So
Yeah, so here.
it will destroy the
This one.
rigging.
Yeah. yeah, there's a lot of complications when you deconstruct the human meta-rig. But if you construct it like this one, like manually, you could do whatever you want with it as long as this one is parented to something.
Yeah, that's why I get
Yeah.
rid of the spine, because I can do whatever I can.
Yeah. So anyway, because of this one, it's a separate one. I thought the whole thing would follow. So what I did on my end was, let me open that. Let's hide this. What I did on my end was, for the head, for the neck, because this is the neck, I put head follow as number 1, so that, is it off? Okay, it's off. So that the whole thing would move. Because originally, yours was like this one, head follow is on 0. And then, yeah, so it's separated. It's like the weight painting is separated. I didn't want to weight paint it anymore, so I just used the head follow so that everything moves. Okay, so first, like I said, references is important because these are the poses. I just used the legs poses. I did recreate it again. And then for the movement of the whole head, the whole body,